this is how I test factories on Farming Simulator 22. This would be applicable for all platforms, PC, Mac, and console. However, I do all my testing on the PS5, and I use the Rock Crawl map by Alien Jim for my testing factories. Now, there are a multitude of factories, different kinds, shapes, sizes, types of products produced, and so forth. So, for the purpose of this video, and to keep it simple, I have chosen the dairy from the base game, and that is going to be found under Production and Factories. And the dairy, where is it? Right here. This, not this one. There's more than one dairy. There we go. This dairy. So I'll pick it. I'll spin it around, see how it places, see if there's any alternate colors, which I very rarely do, but sometimes there is. Now I also going to pick a modded one to show how I would do that. And I have chosen the factory Soy Drink mod by Fra-Cassés. And I'll put a link to this one if you're interested in checking it out. This is a very simple one. It creates a soy drink, but it's a new product, something that's not a base game product. And so this is something that happens a lot, and it also has two types of input areas. And as you can see, it has would create pallets. So something like this is quite common. And so we're going to check out the slot count, 13. We're going to place it down. And also, according to the description, there's a sell point that comes with this. So I would go ahead and look for that. Again, look for alternate colors. There isn't. Place this over here, 11 slots. Place that down. And now we have our placed factories, sell point, and so forth. So the next thing I would look at, and this of course all before I start recording, is the recipe, what kind of input you need for it. In the case of the soy drink, we have soybeans and water. And in this case, the description says on the factory soy drink that it takes 100,000 liters of water, or 107,000 liters of water, and 100,000 liters of soybeans. Right, so that's nice to have when there's information like that. So I will go over to my ready-to-go Rumbler van that I always use for testing because it's so handy and so easy, and it's ready to go. And I'd look for the inputs. And in this case, we have a water input, and there we go. The water easily goes in. And if we check here, there we are, 107,000 liters. And the recipe 15 and 15. And 13 out. So I also look at that and it's like, well, that's not a great ratio. You're losing, something's getting lost. Like more than half of your product going in is getting lost in the recipe. So I would make sure to point that out. Right, so what else do we need? Soybeans. So I would typically, now this is all the setup before I even start filming, so you know what my process is and my thought process and all that. So I don't have a pre-filled soybean, or we'll talk about the sugar over there, but first we'll talk about the soybeans. And I would just empty this out of the straw I had in there and fill it up with 100,000 liters of soybeans. And these, as explained, the A2 Studio multi-fruit buying station comes in super handy. Also the easy weigh station. These are all mods that I have in my first introductory video, so if you want links to those, just go look at that one or the description to that video, and I have all the links to all the mods. If I do use a mod, like especially for this particular video, that one will be in the description on this video. So let's see here. Yes, we should. Yes, we have 100,000 liters. Now again, this is just all pre-taping set up, or how I set up a video, pretty much more or less like that is, and that won't go in there because that will go over here like so. And now we have filled up our products. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the dairy. Of course, the dairy, if we look at that, milk and sugar. Now sugar, as it happens, sugar used to be a very difficult thing to bulk, to fill up a factory with sugar, with pallets and so forth. And until this particular mod came out, industrial sugar, and you can buy it in big bags or in pallets. However, as a bonus with that particular mod, I do believe I have that linked in my original video. What that also allows me to do is, let's see here, is this one going to be, the great thing about these buy anything silos from A2 Studio, or the there it is, I can bulk buy sugar now. Isn't that wonderful? That's saved me a whole lot of time with sugar, because on console PS5 you can't just go into the menu and fill a trailer with any particular item that you want. So that is how I fill factories with sugar. When it calls for sugar, I bulk buy it in trailer or in the rumbler van, and then go ahead and just empty it out into the, this rumbler van is very handy. It does, however, occasionally conflict with other mods, so just be aware of that. There is some mod conflicts with it. Milk, we're going to go fill it up. We're going to fill this factory with milk, and so I'll be right back. So sometimes I use this TARDIS TARDIS tanker by Omatana, and load the factory with that, especially if it doesn't have a huge amount of, let's see here, how much milk is this going to hold? Probably didn't get enough, but you get the idea. I also use this little tank a lot, actually quite a lot, with testing factories, just like I do with animal barns and such. It's a nice compact. It holds 200,000 liters. Yes, I have it in the link to that in my original video, introductory video as well. So yeah, pretty much how I test animal pens actually is very similar to how I test factories. However, when we have multiple items that we can make, depending on how many, I might, for instance, have set up 3 dairies, if it's just a dairy, and have each one of them produce 1 item, or depending on what, yeah. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just, in this case, we're just going to turn them all on, because we actually kind of very familiar with how the pallets look. It's a base game pallet, so we're just looking for production and not necessarily looking for what the pallets look like. The soybeans, on the other hand, is going to produce a non-base game or a custom-made pallet, and I expect them to pop up here. So that's what else we're going to look for. I also look for whether or not I can take the product out of a factory, and this one, you cannot. There is no way to extract the products. And here we have so we have soybeans and water. Once you put those in the factory, you cannot take them out of this one. So that's something else I look for. Can you take it out? So now we're going to let them run. I'm gonna, yeah, we don't need to fill up the dairy with milk. That's, yeah, anyways, we'll see you. Of course, I run it for 1 month. I run 1 day months on my test map, And we're going to go sleep, and then that will put us forward 1 month, and we'll see what happens. All right, so we've gone ahead, and usually before I start the video back up again, I would take a peek at the crates. I would see if they were liftable by hand. This one obviously not. I would take a peek at here and say, okay, well, 10,000 liters soy drink, that's the capacity of the factory. Did it stall out? Not yet. We're still running, so it didn't stall out. We have is perfectly, the capacity is set exactly for 1 month production. Also the dairy, if we take a look at there, we can see how much butter, cheese, and chocolate, and yes, the milk and sugar have not gone down much. Our production recipe is quite slow, so I would go over there and say, look at how many pallets and the capacity, and kind of, I might, if the production is really slow and it still hasn't spit out a pallet of product, I might run it 2 months or 3 months, however long it takes for it to spit out a pallet of product, just so we can see it, especially if it's a custom, like a custom one like this. So then I would start up the video again and say, you know, to show all the different what has transpired over the month, and then we grab, or well, actually we take a look at the prices. Now we're taking a look at the prices. I may do that before or after, depending, but the custom products are usually at the bottom. Well, they're always at the bottom, actually, and then we can take a look at our sell prices and sale of pallet of soy drinks. We take a look at the seasonal fluctuations, and actually the custom sell point here actually has a much better price for the soy drink than the sell everything sell point that I always have, because literally it buys everything, or at least almost everything I've ever found. And we can also check to see if that sell point buys anything else. I just scroll up and down. I don't always, yeah, nothing else. This is a dedicated soy drink sell point that will only buy soy drink. So that's the other thing I look for, of course, and I mention that, all that good stuff there. And then we're going to go ahead and see if I can pick one of these up and go and sell it. Make sure the sell point works. And as we can see, it's not disappearing, but the level's going down, and then now it disappears when it's empty. So what else do I do? Well, for those of you who are lazy like me and don't want to have to deal with forklifts or whatever, I have the I have this Autoload trailer that I also have linked in my original introductory video that I use with every new pallet of product, and see if it picks up the soy drink. And I don't remember this one. Not there we go. Now it's loading. So this one, that's why I love using this one. I think there was only ever one custom product that did not load on this trailer. So I do believe they have an IT runner one that I do occasionally try if this one doesn't work for some reason. And there we go. So yes, so this will work, and then I'll take it over to the sell point. And do I get a trigger? Yes, so you can just directly unload into there. I also check to see if it actually does buy it here, and yes, we can sell the product at a generic sell point as well. And that's pretty much it. Of course, the more products, a factory makes, or the more accessories, sell points, other factories. Some of these factories come with 3 or 4 other additional placeable items that are linked together and so forth and so on. So it can get quite complicated and complex. But this is why I picked a simple one to keep the process and the video as short as possible, and to explain why why do I do that? Well, I try to explore every area of a factory and just test all the triggers, make sure the products sell, check out the I'm on easy economy. I do everything on easy economy, which seems to be the majority default, but of course if you're on medium or hard, or normal and hard, then of course the sell prices are going to be different, less that is. And that's how I test factories. Thank you all for watching, and remember, it's only a game, so till the next one, bye for now.